Today I'd like to cover a few aspects of our command maintenance program while stationed here at Camp Buehrer in Kuwait. The primary topics we'll cover today is unit maintenance SOP, PMCS or preventive maintenance checks and services, vehicle dispatching procedures, vehicle and weapons services, and of course safety. When starting a new program or revamping an old program, units must establish a maintenance SOP as soon as possible and must be signed by the commander. All required maintenance subjects can be found in DA-PAM 750-1 and should cover some of the following topics: duties and responsibilities of key maintenance personnel, command maintenance and PMCS procedures and standards, scheduled maintenance for vehicles and weapons, dispatch procedures, TEMD or tools and test measurement and diagnostic equipment, Army Oil Analysis Program or AOAP, and unit standards for safety. With safety, things to consider are uniform items that crew members wear while on the vehicles, eye pro, gloves, and how service members will ground guide vehicles within the motor pool. There are many other subjects that are integral to the unit maintenance program, but the keys to success for the program are dissemination and leader enforcement of the standards.
PMCS is a structured method of maintaining a piece of equipment in a fully mission-capable condition so that it is ready for the mission. PMCS is conducted at specific times throughout your use of the equipment. The following intervals are specified for PMCS under normal conditions. Before checks and services of preventive maintenance must be performed prior to placing vehicle or its components in operation. During checks and services of preventive maintenance must be performed while the vehicle and or its component systems are in operation. After checks and services of preventive maintenance are performed upon completion of mission. Weekly checks and services of preventive maintenance are performed once every 7 days. Monthly checks and services of preventive maintenance are performed once every 30 days. The PMCS process is clearly defined in the technical manual for your piece of equipment. The following are some basics with which you should be familiar. For troubleshooting malfunctions, refer to the TM or notify your supervisor. Use DA Form 2404 or DA Form 5988 Echo and report malfunctions to unit maintenance at once. Check all bolts, nuts, and screws. If loose, bent, broken, or missing, either tighten or report conditions to unit maintenance. Inspect electrical wires and connectors for cracked or broken insulation. Also look for bare wires and loose or broken connections. Tighten loose connections, report other problems to unit maintenance. Class 1 leak. Leakage indicated by wetness or discoloration but not great enough to form drops. Class 2. Leakage great enough to form drops but not enough to cause drops to drip from item being checked or inspected. Class 3. Leakage great enough to form drops that fall from the item being checked or inspected. Operation is allowable with Class 1 or Class 2 leakage except for brake systems. Any brake fluid leakage must be reported. When in doubt, notify your supervisor. Each TM contains a checklist to guide you in performing your PMCS. The checklist consists of 5 columns, where the item number is a reference to the item inspected. When the maintenance crew looks at block 10 alpha of your DA Form 2404 for any faults you may listed, they will reference the number you listed in the appropriate TM. Remember, if you find no faults during your PMCS, then don't enter an item number on the DA Form 2404. If you find a fault, list the item number that applies to the fault in block 10 alpha. If you find a fault that is not covered by the TM, then don't enter an item number. The interval column tells you when the inspection should take place, as discussed at the beginning of this lesson. If you are conducting a before operation PMCS, then you would inspect all items listed as before in the interval column of the checklist. The location or item to check and service column will tell you where or what to inspect and or service. The crew member and procedure column will tell you who is responsible for the described task and how to perform the task. The not fully mission capable if column tells you what condition requires you to list the vehicle as deadlined.
Good morning, my name is Sergeant Marlon Anthony Daly for FSC 234 Armor. Today we'll be discussing dispatch procedure. Behind us right here you have the SAMZ box, and today we'll be also telling you all the required documents you'll need during the dispatching procedures. The dispatch is a simple process that involves several forms which should be presented to the unit dispatcher in the equipment record folder, otherwise known as the dispatch logbook. Within the dispatch logbook, there should be 2 copies of SF Form 91 Motor Vehicle Accident Report, 2 copies of your DD Form 518 Accident Identification Card, a QA/QC inspection sheet, and a 5988 Echo. The operator must also present his or her license before this dispatch procedure can begin. Once the 5988 ECHO has been updated in the SAMZ box and printed out, all forms are presented and complete. The vehicle can be dispatched.
Now we're going to talk about vehicle services. Completing vehicle services to standard requires the following to be conducted. Begin with a before operations check, dispatch the vehicle, drive the vehicle a minimum of 5 miles, conduct a during operations check on level ground, return vehicle to the unit motor pool, and perform an after operations maintenance check. These checks are recorded on the vehicle's Form 5988 and become the actual document from which the service is conducted, in conjunction with the service checklist from the applicable technical manual. During the services, the vehicle operator crew must be present as well as the mechanics. Commanders should ensure the correct number of service kits have been ordered, that adequate petroleum, oil, and lubricant products are on hand to conduct the service in accordance with the applicable lubrication order, that adequate dry nitrogen is on hand to properly purge optics and turret components when conducting services on fire control system, that the unit level logistics system ground produced parts received not installed list has been purged and plan has been developed to install them, and that adequate numbers of operational steam cleaners or pressure washers are on hand.
Leaders cannot emphasize enough the importance of disciplined unit maintenance and services programs, engaged leadership, and safety within the motor pool. I hope the content in this video can serve as a useful tool to assist unit leaders when forming their unit maintenance programs. Fear God, dread not, America's first.